Pronounced on Google, which is again probably wrong. Well, we learn about the death of King Elia in the Tales of Ragnar's Sons and the Knutdrapa. In the Orkney Inga saga.
Sorry, it sounds like a piece of furniture from IKEA.
Well, I mean, this is pretty much all his. uh, in the Orkneyinga saga and the Hemskrila, we learn about Torf Inar ritual execution of Harold Fairhair's son, Halfdan Longleg, in the 9th century. So there's more of those, last names that kind of, there's more of a description. It's like, oh, he's got fair hair. Well, that's his last name. Well, he's got long legs. Well,
yeah, I was
guess
going
what
to say,
he's
so he's half Dan, but he's also has long legs. So
Yeah,
was he
he's
three
half a
quarter
Dan.
3/4 length Dan?
Well, he was half Dan, but he's half Dan long ways.
Oh, right. So his left side
Yeah.
was Dan, his
So
right side
only
was like
his left
Bob or
side
some
was
shit.
Dan.
And
Yeah,
his
they
right
like.
side had long legs. So he's like this.
Yeah, no,
Like,
nobody
just
liked Bob, so
walking in
they
circles.
only call him Dan. Oh, fuck. Now, Halfdan, which it's probably Halfdan. I imagine it's probably not half Dan. It's probably Halfdan.
It's Halfdan,
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah. But him, together with his brother Gudra Gleam, were rebellious troublemakers who preyed on Norway's earls. They attacked Einar's father, the aged Earl Ragnvald. Halfdan had the Earl killed by burning him alive in his house. Then he fled to Orkney. Now, the Orkney Islands are an archipelago on the northern Isle of Scotland, situated off the north coast of Great Britain. So, say Orkney is just a bunch of islands that they went
Never
to.
knew
Now,
that.
yeah, you learn something new sometimes.
I think my Halfdan impersonation.
I was wondering what you were doing.
That's 3/4 Dan.
But you need to be like way up.
The...
You need to be like way up because of your long legs.
Okay, hold on. There you go.
There.
I hit my head up the ceiling when the door.
That's because your legs are so long. Now in Orkney, Halfdan declared himself king, and Earl Enar was forced to flee to Scotland. Later that same year, after gathering an army, Enar returned and soundly defeated Halfdan in a navy battle, seeking revenge for the death of his father. Enar slaughtered Halfdan, quote, Enar had his ribs cut from, when I say his, Halfdan's, Enar had Halfdan's ribs cut from the spine with a sword and the lungs pulled out through the slits in his back. He dedicated the victim to Odin as a victory offering. So, yeah.
Nice.
But see, in that, it just says that he makes slits in the back and pulls the lungs out through the slits. So, and then there's other ones that you read that says that they cut open the chest and break the ribs through the chest. But they,
Let's start somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel that you would die a lot sooner doing it that way, but oh well. In the Regensmall, we learn about the death of Lyngvi Hodgson. Now, who was Lyngvi Hodgson? I have no fucking idea. I looked. He was a king of some sort, but I looked everywhere to find out, and I couldn't get shit on him.
I'm gonna try to find him right now.
Yeah, go ahead. He was important enough to write about, apparently. So
I'd be so tempted to text my brother-in-law now and say, "Hey, who's this guy?" A full detailed history about him.
It's fine with me. Now, through these various texts, we often learn about the Blood Eagle's death of King Edmund of England, Irish King Melgulli of Munster. Again, I looked for a pronunciation of this motherfucker.
What? How do you spell it?
The
Yeah.
LG
Yeah.
UALAI.
What the fuck?
He was your king at one point back in the 870s or 860s.
Oh, it's yeah, I see this here now. It's Mail McDongle. It's this is a variation of spelling this Mael space Gualae.
I saw that too.
Yeah, yeah. See, these are nearly knocked over my drink.
But every time I brought up pronunciation, it was always like somebody in English trying to pronounce it. They're always going like Malgulgi. I was like, there's no possible way that's right. I've heard Dan say Irish words. That's not right. I know it's not.
Yeah, it's like McDungle or something, or Dungale or something. I'd have to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my wife will correct me on it if I was to ask her. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Anyway, also Archbishop Hellier and Brucey of Sodi or Soe or whatever, because for some reason they have weird letters like a D with the top of the D's all bent over with a cross through it. I don't fucking know. But he was technically a supernatural being, so who knows if it counts. Now, in the Gesta Danorum, it seems to claim that the eagle carved in the back was more literal. Actually, a simple eagle carved in the back of their enemy, an eagle symbolizing death in Viking culture. They would then rub salt into the wound. So,
Literally, bastards.
yes. So still painful, not quite as painful as a full blood eagle, but still, painful. How disappointing would that be though? All this lore about the blood eagle and removing somebody's entire back to get to the lungs, and then you come to find out it's literally they just took a knife and somebody just kind of drew an eagle on the back of it, some
Yeah.
arbitrary eagle, rudimentary eagle on their back. They like sprinkle them with salt like Salt Bay.
Yeah. Like
Right
they
in.
just stabbed some guy with a tattoo on his back of an eagle or some shit.
Yeah. They shall speak of this for years
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah.
But see, that all brings us to the problem with the Blood Eagle. It's the same problem we've had with about half of the methods and devices we've covered on this show. Did it really exist? Was it a real punishment or just a literary device? Because here's the thing, all of these prose that were written about the Blood Eagle weren't written until about 200 to 400 years later. And it wasn't all by Viking poets and storytellers. Some were told by Christian authors, most likely to scare non-believers into leaving paganism and following Christianity. Look how horrible these people can be. Look what they can do. Of course, wait 1,000 years and see what the fucking Christians do. But yeah, I mean, it was just a propaganda tool. Was what
Yeah, I'm not
some people
surprised. Like, is
think.
the whole thing of having your religion of you going to heaven based on the fact of you having to die in battle and all that stuff to have it switched around? So it's like, yeah, well, look, you could die this way, which means you'll never get to see your God, and all this is a nice little easy way of persuading people. I think. Like
Yeah,
classic
which
Catholic though, like here's here's why you don't want to be this religion, and here's why you want to be with us.
yeah, today and then tomorrow you got to be Protestant or else
Yeah.
and it's illegal. At least Vikings knew where they stood on all this shit. You died in battle, you go to Valhalla, you drink mead with your buddies and tell war stories for all of eternity. I mean, it doesn't matter, anything else doesn't matter. That's the crux of the religion. With Christianity, there's about what 9 dozen different types of sects that you can go through, and all of them are wrong compared to everybody else. So
Yeah, but you'll burn in hell if you go against the word of God. But if you go against the word of God, he will forgive you upon death. So you won't go to hell. He'll
yes,
accept you into
so
heaven in open arms. But you go to hell. But you won't
yes,
go to
so
hell.
everybody out there, your grandfather who died after 100 years on this earth. Didn't believe in God, but was a good person, gave to charity, um, did good works, was always there for you and your siblings and all your family. Just everybody loved him. He's burning in hell right now, but Jeffrey Dahmer asked for forgiveness and Ted Bundy asked for forgiveness before they were both killed. So they're in heaven.
Yeah.
If that's fair.
I was going to say, yeah, like Hitler's sitting there having a cup of tea right now with like Pope John Paul II. Both just chilling out, talking shop. Both of them got forgiven for all their bullshit.
Hitler probably had a better chance of getting in heaven than most of the popes did.
Yeah, especially the one that was there and overseeing the entire thing to do with the scandals. JP.
Yeah.
But anyway, I haven't got anything against Catholicism. Let's continue. No issues with it whatsoever.
Not a thing. And anybody that says otherwise has no idea what they're talking about. No. Burn in hell. I don't think anyone would argue with whether or not the Vikings were ruthless and violent enough to torture and kill kings and noblemen in this way. That's not much of a question. But the purpose of the Bloody Eagle, as far as we know, was for the victim to suffer through the entirety of the torture and eventually die of asphyxiation after the lungs were pulled out of the body. Not much of a human sacrifice to Odin if they die within the first couple minutes. So, could one survive the whole process? Well, according to an article in Speculum,